There's a number that knows more about you than your own family. It doesn't know your name, it doesn't know your face, but it decides whether you buy a house, whether you get approved for a car, and sometimes whether you even get the job. That number has 3 digits. It runs from 300 to 850, and it was invented by 2 men in a rented studio apartment with $800 between the 2 of them. Over the next few minutes, you're going to understand exactly how that number was born, who controls it, and, more importantly, the specific moves that raise it or wreck it. Because once you understand how it thinks, it stops watching you and you start using it. Before 1956, getting credit was a lottery. There was no formula, no number. A man behind a desk looked at you and decided, do you look trustworthy? Do you live in the right neighborhood? Does he like you? Your entire financial future depended on the mood of a stranger. And let me show you how unfair that was. Picture 2 people. Same salary, same debt, same history. One gets approved, the other gets turned away. The difference? The last name, the color of their skin, the zip code they were born in. Nothing at all to do with whether they'd actually pay. And that meant 2 things. To do with whether they'd aged it over prejudice, and the bank lost money lending to the wrong ones. Sit with that for a second, because it explains everything that follows. If you're going to build a system to replace gut instinct, what data would you use to predict whether someone pays? The answer is the same today as it was in 1956. The best predictor of whether you'll pay tomorrow is whether you paid yesterday. That's why, even now, your payment history is the single most important factor of them all, and we're about to see exactly how much it weighs. 92560s, San Rafael, California. An engineer named Bill Fair and a mathematician named Earl Isaac meet working at a research institute, and they share an idea that back then sounded insane. That human behavior with money can be predicted with math, not with instinct. Not with prejudice, with numbers. They each put in $400, $800 total, and launched the company out of a rented studio. Fair, Isaac and Company. The banks laughed at them. Replace the instincts of a manager with 20 years of experience with a cold formula? It sounded absurd, but Fair and Isaac held one conviction that shapes your financial life to this day. To them, you weren't good or bad, you were a probability. A percentage. The question was never, does this person deserve credit? But how likely is this person to pay? And that changes how you should see yourself. The number isn't punishing you, it's placing a bet, and everything you do either raises that bet in your favor or lowers it. They had the idea. Now they needed someone to buy it. They wrote to 50 of the biggest finance companies in the country, offering their system. Out of 50 letters, one replied, just one. But it was enough. They built their first scoring system, and they proved something that left the industry speechless. Their formula could predict accurately whether a customer would pay on time, pay late, or never pay at all. How? By hunting for patterns. How much you owe compared to how much you were lent. How long you've handled credit. How consistently you pay. Now pay attention, because here's a lever you control today. It's called utilization, and let me give you an example that changes everything. Picture 2 people. They both owe $500 on their card. Exactly the same. The first one has a limit of $600. She's using 83% of her available credit. The number sees that and panics. The second one has a limit of $5,000. She's using just 10%. Same debt, but the number trusts her. See the trap? It's not just how much you owe. It's how much you owe compared to how much you could owe. The rule of thumb: keep your balance under 30% of your limit, and if you can, under 10. And there's a second lever, age. The longer you've handled credit responsibly, the more the number trusts you. Which is why closing your oldest card is almost always a mistake. For 30 years, the system grew quietly. Banks, stores, cards, but something was missing. Every company had its own score. There was no universal number. Till 1989. That year, Fair, teams up with the 3 great credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. and launches the first general score for every consumer in the country. The FICO Score. One number from 300 to 850. Calculated from the data of your entire financial life, and suddenly 200 million people are reduced to 3 digits. And this is the moment you need to know exactly how it's calculated, because it's not a mystery. It's a recipe with 5 ingredients. 35% your payment history. The big one. The move, pay on time, every time. Even if it's just the minimum, a single late payment can haunt you for years. 30% how much you owe. Utilization. The move, pay the balance down before the statement closing date, not the due date. 15% the age of your credit history. The move, open credit early. And don't close your old accounts. 10% new credit. The move, don't apply for 3 cards in 1 month. Every application leaves a mark. And the last 10%, your mix of credit types. The move, don't do anything clever. It sorts itself out over time. Memorize those 5, because they're the complete map of how to beat the game. Now that you know how it works, let's destroy 4 lies that have probably cost you money. Lie number 1. You have to carry a balance on your card to build credit. False. Paying it off in full every month builds your history just as well and saves you the interest. Carrying debt only makes the bank richer. Lie number 2. Checking my own score lowers it. False. When you check your own number, that's a soft inquiry. It does nothing to you. What actually lowers your score are hard inquiries when you apply for new credit. So check yours as often as you want. Lie number 3. Closing an old card I don't use improved my credit. Almost always the opposite. Closing it erases part of your history's age and cuts your total limit, which spikes your utilization. Sometimes the smartest move is to do nothing, and the most dangerous lie of all. If I make more money, my score goes up. False. Your salary is not in the formula. You can earn $1 million a year and have a terrible score, and you can earn very little and have an 850. The number doesn't care how much you make. It cares how you treat what you're lent. And that's the irony of what Fair and Isaac built. It doesn't reward the one who spends the most or earns the most. It rewards the one who needs the credit the least. The patient one. The consistent one. The one who pays and waits. 2 men, $800, a rented studio. And today, their invention decides the financial future of an entire country. But here's what I want you to walk away with. That number isn't your enemy. It's a mirror. It reflects, with brutal honesty, how you treat money over time. Pay on time. Use little of what you're lent. Be patient with age, and don't fall for the myths that help the bank, not you. Do that, and the number stops judging you and starts working for you. Next episode, we go to the force. Fair and Isaac never put in their formula, but that decides more of your wealth than any score ever will. The one Einstein supposedly called the most powerful force in the universe. Subscribe and keep what you earn.